God. Welcome back to the Initial F podcast.
Hi.
So you might be
This is our
wondering-
COVID special. This is our COVID special.
COVID special. We don't. None of us.
Even though it's already done.
None of us have COVID. So you're probably wondering why we aren't in the same room.
It's because I'm in my room. I have all the toys I need.
It's because, well, circumstances and our special guest not being able to make it made it so that this is kind of our last resort.
It's an easy last resort, though. Because, like, the thing is, the world has been more interconnected than ever. So this is pretty easy. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Initial F. It's Gerard, as always, and Jasper.
Yes.
I'm gonna point at him that way because it's more fun day. And we have sound effects to use.
I don't know how to use this. I haven't used this part
so
of Discord
funny.
before.
Oh, don't worry about it. There's like 6 default, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, I see. So hopefully we should sound way better now, especially since Gerard has an actual mic. And,
right. I'm actually not so sure what I sound like right now. Do I on your side, do I sound good?
Yeah, you sound good. What kind of whack is that I can't record Discord audio through my headphones. That will also go through to OBS. So it's kind of coming up my speakers. Maybe I should turn up my speakers a little bit.
Okay. Well, so long as the output is the same, it should be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah. Oh wow, my drawing's actually showing better than before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that my shrine's not being shown because currently I am actually drying my hair. What I did was before we started. Yeah, it's my normal fan. I wish I had a Dyson though. It would be nice. Yeah. Well, what's it called? So today, our guest is Rem.
Yes,
specifically
Rem.
the Bon Presto Rem Relax Time. It's not. She's not showing because she is quite angelic.
Yes,
if I must say,
that big light on her.
Right. But the light is also nice because it's the type of light that is shining. It's the one with the magnifying glass.
Oh damn, you
That's why
right now.
right. I know. Look, you can put the what's it called? I should have a halo if it goes low enough, but my TV behind it is being blocked. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I have a list of topics that I did write down that you should probably look at whenever
I should
on the Google Docs.
I should. I should.
I did share it with you. I mean, right now, I don't know. How's your week been? We'll just start with some small talk.
My week has been just fine. Many things have been happening for sure. Like, for example, 10 hours of work for 3 days, which is not bad. It really isn't bad.
He works a 4-day work week, by the way, so don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for myself. I enjoy it because when I was at McDonald's, I was seeing people that I didn't want to see, and I did not like that. I really did not consent to it. So now, right? I have time now, pretty much, and I really enjoy my time. So, you know what? I got a topic. Okay.
Oh, you do?
Actually, but before that,
wearing the same shirt. Hold on.
No, we're not.
Is yours is black?
Mine is brown. Okay.
No,
wait. Do you have this too?
I kind of do. Yeah. It just doesn't show as well because my camera is much better than yours. I also don't have a light. But if it's true. Black, then
I'd say my light. Oh wait, if I do it directly that way, that counts as light.
Where did you get that shirt?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it 9 years ago, and it still fits me.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had this for a really long time.
Faded, but I swear
it's longer than us. It should be, yeah. Not clearly the brand, but
yeah,
probably the same model.
Probably. That's kind of funny. I just noticed it right now.
Yeah. So how have you been?
I've been stressed. Today was the day where we
Stressed.
were supposed to have a special. Our what was it? Our third member come in and introduce
Right, right.
himself, but he's working on his car, so he got the wrong parts for his
Typical car
car.
guy behavior. Typical car guy
I
behavior.
know, right? I know, right? So yeah, he's working on his friggin' car, and he couldn't get it to work, so he couldn't drive down here.
Hmm.
Kind of,
It's
kind of.
unfortunate, but then again, he is enjoying his hobby, okay? And we
He
have
is.
like no qualms with that. Don't worry about it. Like just have fun. If it puts a smile in your face, do it, right?
Yes. Yes. I mean, all day I've been literally like just thinking about this, like making the podcast. I don't know.
Right.
I like talking to you and people about things that we both like,
hmm
and I
But
can.
we can't force that, right? The
Yeah.
main point is that we we just have a weekly or bi-weekly meetup because we have this schedule that it works for both of us,
Yeah.
right? So that's what's up, you know.
Yeah. And yeah, these are officially going to be coming out every Tuesday now. I say Tuesday because throughout the week I like to listen to podcasts, and each day of the week there's a different group of podcasters that come out with their own episodes. So the first one is Distractable, Bob, Mark, and Wade.
Mm,
Tuesdays there's no one that uploads, so that's why I slipped hours in because
mm.
I do listen to our stuff. Isn't
Well,
that
yeah,
kind of
I
you
mean
think
I
it's
do too,
arrogant?
because
Like,
I love myself.
yeah, I know, right? We both love ourselves, so I like to listen, having something new, even though like we've talked about it. It's just fun to relive, you know, just to feel
It
something.
is, but oddly enough, videos for some reason do feel older than pictures. I don't know if anyone has noticed that, but there is more nostalgia
For the videos.
looking at the photo than the video.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess because like with
it's
the
an yeah.
video, you can like kind of relive it more vividly because you're actually seeing
Mhm,
what you're physically doing at that moment in time. You know.
mhm.
Anyways,
There is that.
and then
Yeah.
Wednesday there's Brain Leak, which is Jacksepticeye and Crank Gameplays, now Ethan Nestor. Thursday is Go My Favorite Sports Teams. And then Friday is Distractable and Trash Taste.
Distractable does
Yeah,
releases
Distractable
twice a
does
week.
twice a week now. Well, they've been doing it
Oh.
for quite a while. I doubt we'll be
Mhm.
able to do that until we get like, unless it's like becomes a big thing.
Yeah, we'll see. But the thing is, it's great not to be self-aware of it for the time
Oh
being
yeah.
because we really have no idea. But anyways,
What was your topic?
figurines. Why won't we talk about figurines?
Figurines.
Look at the collarbone of this one.
God
Even though it looks
damn.
like it's built like it's what's it called? It's built like it's a candle wax, like a
Yeah, it
wax
kind of does
candle.
like kind of
It
wax.
looks really nice. I love the creases that they
Damn,
used.
she's got that golden ratio on her ass.
I know. Look at that. So
Yeah.
it's supposed to sit down on like a chair. You could also see the seam lines. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's not going to show in the
You
camera.
could
There's
also
just no
probably
way.
put it on like your cup ramen, you know? You know those sitting
Oh, you're
figures that
right.
go in your cup
It is.
ramen?
It is definite.
Yeah.
Technically, a sitting. What's it called? Not a sitting. Sorry. It's a the cup noodle. It's a noodle stopper.
Noodle stopper.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
noodle
It's a
stopper.
noodle
Technically,
stopper.
a lot of Bon Presto figurines are noodle stoppers. But so when it comes to actually, we're gonna talk about anime figurines just for a tad bit
I don't really
because
have that much knowledge on anime figurines. I personally don't own a few, and the ones I do are just in its box. And then the other ones
oh,
are Gundams.
that's true. But I do also have Gundams, and I count them as
They are
figurines.
technically figurines.
They're more flexible, actually,
Yeah.
literally, quite literally,
They're like an
than
upgrade
regular
of like
figurines.
Nendroid, you know? Cuz there's like
No, you
the
can't show them in androids.
there's the like this, you know, the stereotypical one where it's just one pose, and then there's the Nendroids where you can like pose them to an extent, but then there are like Gundams where you can actually like pose them, you know, put them in the way you want.
Mm. But there's a bigger version of Nendoroids, which is like the Plamax.
Oh yeah.
It's by it's not Plamax. It's also a good smile blend. Max Factory, there you go. Max Factory creates it's almost the same as Nendoroids,
Mm-hmm.
but like in their normal 1-to-1 size.
Oh
But if
damn.
you want to keep it on the Good Smile Company, then you have something called the what's it called? Yeah, it is Good Smile, but I forgot the branding of it. But I would say between the regular figurines and the Nendoroids, I'd say Nendoroids are actually just a tad bit better.
I think
Okay,
so too.
because if let's analyze the chocolate and vanilla collection,
By the way,
right? I know
Gerard's
there's just two of them.
Gerard's in love with Nekopara.
I love Necopara so much. Like it is actually a red flag. So, with that being in mind, I bought these for. I bought them for what, $90?
Each?
Okay. Yeah, each. Would
Jeez.
you like to guess what, like, how much are they now?
120.
More. It's actually,
More?
yeah, it's actually $230 each as of right now. So,
No
I
fucking way,
made,
dude.
I made a full like two hundred
You made an
dollar profit,
investment.
give or take. I really made an investment out of them. No, but there is also an issue with Nendroids, which is you can't actually keep them in the box if you're gonna get them as investment
Mm-hmm.
because once they hit the 6 year mark of being just inside the box,
Right.
the plastic eventually that are wrapping the Nendroids, they've become just a tad bit crusty and yellowy to the point that
Oh.
when you remove it out the box, it will actually sort of peel off instead of just sitting on the Nendroid itself.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to be an issue because it's going to degrade the Nendroid inside.
So you have to
So
take it
what
out of the box.
you have to. Otherwise, your investment is just gone.
Damn.
Okay? And I completely forgot to what's it called to explain Nekopara. So Nekopara is a series by Sayori, first released in 2014, and has been very popular ever since. They have released 4 volumes,
Mm-hmm.
one Nekopara extra, and then a volume 0, which counts as a prequel.
Right.
And those are the visual novels. There is also an 18 plus version of it. I own it also.
Why'd you do this when
And
you own it? You just say like you just own it.
I mean, not this. I mean, in parentheses, I own it as well. I own
Okay.
the 18 patch,
Yeah.
and I've enjoyed it ever since. It helped me recover from a specific canon event in my life,
Oof.
and Jasper knows, but we'll keep it that way.
Oh, is it that
The
one during
the
your
issue,
during high school?
yeah,
Okay,
high
I
school.
get you.
But the thing is, I am better now.
Better for it.
So with that being said, I got invested in Nekopara for ever since 2020. Nobody really asked, but they are just so cute, and I have been obsessed with cat girls so much that right at the back of this fan, I have all 6 of the collection just sitting there.
He sent
Okay,
me pictures of
it's my
these.
shrine.
He sent me
It is
pictures of
my
these.
shrine.
All of them. One like he used to greet me like once a day with a picture of everyone. Of like a different girl like every day almost.
Now, praying to my Nekopara shrine, I remember posting that on my Instagram.
Yeah, I think I
It's
remember
gone
too.
now, I think, because like it is such a red flag to like see it. And then at some point, I was posting them on Twitter. Remember that time that I had Twitter?
I
Oh my
did not
goodness,
know you had Twitter.
you don't?
I do have a
No,
Twitter,
man.
I just don't use it. Oh, sorry. No, I have an X account. I just don't use it.
Hmm. No, it was fun when I had Twitter. But with that being said, Nekopara at some point, or like every anime fan ever, they're gonna have
And then
some sort of yeah, some sort of Nendroid or like an affinity to like collect these things.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been thinking of trading all six of my figurines for one chocolate figurine. This is chocolate,
Yeah.
by the way.
Which one is
I,
that?
yeah. So that's the main. These two are actually the main
Which one are
characters. They
you
look
trying to
so
get
much better.
though?
I think I need to get Chocola first because Chocola is like the main girl for some reason for everybody. I used to be a vanilla person, which is this one, but we don't do that here. We don't do that here. You know what? Do you think you're able to cast screens?
Yeah, you can share your screen in Discord.
Okay, so I actually can. So I am gonna look for it actually. But
Close any XXX tabs first. Wait if
yeah, I
it's
know
letting
I'm
you that.
trying. I am
It sounds
trying.
like a lot.
I'm sort of deleting my history first. Acquiescing, trigger Canadian passport. Who can bring to renew?
I need to renew my password too. Honestly, my password's been expired for a while.
Pokemon sleep tips.
Are
Those
you
are the
actually
stuff
doing
that are.
that? Are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm actually doing it now.
How
Yeah.
is it? How is it?
You know what? Pokemon sleep is all right. Okay, it's like it doesn't even detect my full sleep because I sleep with my brother. He's on top of the bunk bed,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay.
And like when he wakes up at 9, my my Pokemon sleep is just like that's it.
Oh yeah,
That's it. That's when you wake up,
yeah.
which is quite unfortunate because it doesn't record the whole of my sleep.
What was your last
I
night's?
My last night was like 5 hours. I think I slept
Oh,
at 4 last night.
why?
So it only went from 4 to 9, and I was like, oh,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So that's what's been, yeah.
that's something that I overlooked is like people sleeping in the same room. It's like what if couples used
Mhm.
it, right? And then one gets up before the other.
Right, and that's an issue, honestly, for the Pokemon sleep. I'd say it has its flaws, but at the end of the day, it's not an actual sleep tracker. It is a game.
It
Okay,
is a game.
some people actually take it seriously and say, "Oh, it's for actually for sleep." But no, you're just collecting Pokemon.
I'm one of those people. I
Oh
have
my
two
goodness.
shinies now. I have a shiny Pichu and a shiny Magnemite.
How do you get that?
I think it's random chance. I don't think it's full odds chance, but
Oh yeah.
there's a chance.
Oh.
The things that are rarer are like the 4-star Pokemon sleep, like four
Oh,
star
that's so
like
true.
poses or whatever the sleep patterns of Pokemon. But yeah, I'm currently making my way up to getting an Umbreon.
That one is nice, yeah. That one would be nice. I mean, if it's like doing specific, what's it called? Like skill set, I always go for the specific skill set myself.
Mm-hmm.
But if my sleep patterns are always the same, that becomes an issue. Oh, there you go. That's the site. My figure collection.
Uh
Me too. Oh, not sign up. No,
huh.
sign in because I have my own.
Oh, okay. While you're
There
doing
you
that,
go.
I have a manga recommendation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've gotten back into reading manga
Mm-hmm.
legally, or I don't know whether Shonen Jump like has a thing about sharing accounts, but I've been
Mm-hmm.
reading on like Shonen Jump. I was reading like Sakamoto Days before, but now like when I was reading Sakamoto Days, I there was always one manga that was recommended to me underneath at the chapters, and it's called
Mm-hmm.
Blue Box.
Blue box.
Blue
Haven't
Box.
heard of it yet.
It is a rom-com with like a sprinkle of sports in there. And
Okay.
honestly, it is a really good rom-com manga.
Hmm.
So it's centered around this third year of junior high who next year is like uh whose next year will be a first year in high school, right? And he has a crush on the girl that's 2 grades above him. So
Yeah.
the beginning part of like this manga starts with the boy going into morning practices because he likes to get there early to practice more, and then him and her being the first ones to practice. So they basically see each other every morning. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually the relationship starts to evolve from there. And honestly, it is very well thought out. The characters are really like they have layers to them. They're very deep. None of the characters feel shallow in any way. The art style is really good. It's really nice. The action shots of
Mm-hmm.
like the sports in there too, they're really well drawn. And honestly, like once I started reading it, I could not stop reading it. I finished like all I caught up to like all 114 chapters in like 5 days because I've been like reading sporadically and stuff. But it
Mm-hmm.
is definitely worth the read because if you like rom com and you like sports, and then there's like that dynamic with like how love would affect like someone's sports life, it like all meshes together really well. And honestly, like it's just really good. I find it really good. I find it really fun, really nice.
Hmm. So, how does that like affect you, like as a person? Are you learning stuff from it?
What do
You
you mean by
think
learning stuff? Like,
like are you what's it called? Not just learning, but have they had like scenes or like that relate to you? You think?
I mean, here's the thing
No,
with me and rom com in general is that during high school, I was basically like all I watched were rom coms. All I read were rom coms because it kind of gives me a
the Rizzler.
feeling. The reason it kind of gives me a feeling of falling in love every time. Do you kind of get what I mean?
You're cheating
Well, your fault. Like it's falling in
or
love.
caught in 4K.
It's falling in
Okay.
love, with the characters, with the story. It's almost I don't know. It feels more intimate than it seems, and maybe it's just me like relating it to it so much because
Hmm.
like there are points in your life, if you get into a relationship and you watch like a rom com or read rom com manga, there are points where you're gonna be like, I remember feeling this way. I remember having to go through this exact thing. How like I felt like confessing to that one person, right? You remember how you feel in those moments. You're like really nervous, you're really scared to get rejected, and then the pure elation of them saying yes or I
Hmm.
like you too. It's just
It,
something that
it
you
does
can
feel nice.
it's just like it's one of the most purest emotions, honestly, in my opinion. Cuz like whenever like it leads up to that in a manga, like I just can't help but like just I don't know, trying to contain it, but at the same time expressing it. Like it's like when you're like mad at your parents, but you like don't want to lash out at them, but you're also like screaming to yourself. It's kind of like that, but with the
Hmm.
opposite emotion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did this just release recently?
Uh no, I think it was starting like 2020 because there's like 114
Oh,
chapters, and it's still
oh, so
ongoing.
okay,
It's
so
still
they
ongoing.
just
Yeah,
so
it's still
it
ongoing. I don't
doesn't
want
have
to.
a
I don't want to like.
consistent release as well.
Yeah, I don't want to like spoil anything, but like it gets really good. It's really good. I
So
highly
it,
highly recommend.
so it definitely counts as a hidden gem for you.
Yeah, yeah, especially among the cuz you know how like some manga they will you like catch up to a certain point and then it becomes like almost in the back of your head. You like don't read it anymore because you're waiting for the next chapters, but then you like have to read it again to binge it to catch up to where you left off in the first place,
Mhm.
just so you can actually reread it, start reading it from the place where you left it off, and then catch up again. Does that kind
Mhm.
of make sense?
It does, yeah. It's
Yeah.
something that I've been doing too.
Yeah.
But
So,
when it comes to manga, I'm only actually updated in a few right now. One for sure is One Punch Man,
yeah.
right? There is Mushoku Tensei,
Mm.
and what's that? That time I reincarnated as a slime as well. That
That's
one
still
I'm updated.
ongoing? Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
as a slime, it's still ongoing.
Didn't that come out in like 2017, 18? Like I remember
Yeah,
watching that show in high school.
they release monthly, which is it's not
Okay.
really that consistent. But then again, it's also a light novel. I
Yeah, yeah,
technically
yeah.
can just be like updated to the light novel, but I don't read. I don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's too many words. As a history major, like getting like just like looking at all of those words, it's too much
Yeah.
for a time where when I don't have to read it. But there's also um what's that one anime? It's called, you know, that one with the revenge one.
Masamune-kun?
No, not Masamune. It's an ecchi, and it's also Kearu. That's his the main character's name.
I don't know.
He's the redo of healer.
I'll redo a few.
Yeah, redo of healer. That
Oh,
one I'm updated on. Oddly enough, it's more action packed right now. But there is also something that I really love. It's Made in Abyss.
I've heard that one's good.
Now my issue is whether it finishes first or the author gets finished first, because the author is old.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll be very very sad that it's going to be like a berserk
Yeah,
thing
it's
where
gonna be
it's
like
not
a
going to be
Kitamura
finished.
thing, yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a Mira thing where he just stops because he can't anymore.
Yeah, his body just
And
tells him
we're
no.
and we're also nearing the end of Made in Abyss
Really.
manga. But the other issue is he takes months. He's actually not consistent with the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he released a chapter a month ago, and all of the like the comments are like, "Okay, guys, see you next year," because he never posts consistently for
Isn't
for a
that
new
kind of
chapter.
the same thing with like Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah, like that. It's like at some point Hunter x Hunter was just full of words, right?
Mm-hmm.
He, the author may as well been just writing instead of um, like drawing and just doing manga in general. But then again, I understand that it's harder to make manga as
Yeah, you
well.
have to draw like every panel.
Yeah, and then like have like
You gotta
cleaners,
have like
like the background specialist
background
guys.
specialist. You gotta have like the composition of like how many panels you're doing, whether it's gonna be like a full 2 page spread, and like how many like details. Like if you're a really detailed like artist, like I recommend you read Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number eight's a really big one right now. That's getting an anime adaptation.
I'm waiting for the anime actually,
Yeah,
and then I'll read the manga.
like the monster art for Kaiju number 8 is really really good. Like it's I would say it has a better story than Chainsaw Man.
No, I don't agree with that.
Don't agree. Okay, well, this is
Chainsaw
me.
Man?
For I haven't watched the manga. Okay, I haven't read the manga of Chainsaw Man, but I get
Mhm.
more invested in Kaiju number 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll probably actually read it by tonight then, because
It has like
I've been looking for like something else to like entertain me recently. Because
mhm.
this season's anime is just a bit. I'm only actually watching Mushoku Tensei right now.
I've been kind of watching like a couple of things. The ones I've been like watching were was it the Massive Cat is depressed again today?
Oh, that one,
That
yeah.
one's a cute one. Cute like kind of slice of life one. It's very
I
interesting.
started the first. I started the first episode, and like, there's so many like the scenes in in that anime is very, we could say, innovative,
Yeah.
because their angles are just
Yeah.
everywhere,
That's
right?
kind of the same thing
They're
with
really showing off.
kind of the same thing with what is it? The girl I like forgot her glasses again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a bunch of the shots in that anime, the girl I like forgot her glasses. That is literally the anime title of that anime. Like
God, I love glasses.
I know, like the angles and like the studio that did the angles, they're really, I don't know. It's sort of cinematic in a way that
Hmm.
isn't like an anime movie, but it doesn't
Really?
it doesn't try to feel like an anime movie, but the shots are cinematic enough that you feel that they put a lot of thought into how this shot is.
Is it very detailed, do you think? Like there's a lot of shines, there's a lot of like pans. The pans are very
There's a
difficult,
lot
I'd
of
say.
pans, and there's a lot
If
of
they do rotoscoping, I'd be like amazed.
and
I
there's like
love it when animators do rotoscoping.
some like weird angles too.
Mhm.
Granted, not the angles you're thinking of because they are like middle schoolers. So get your mind out the gutter, you perv.
Not me. I like, yeah.
And then the other one I've been like watching is The Dreaming Boy is a Realist. And
That one.
what I consider this anime as is basically a different version of what was it? What's the title? Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Oh, I love Rascal. Is it? Wait, they're the same.
No, it reminds me of that.
Oh.
I don't know because there's like an aspect of like harem to it in a
Mhm.
way, but there's also like some psychological play at work. Like it's kind of just follows the same formula as Bunny Girl Senpai, and that the main character tries to help out each and every one of the girls, and they all kind of start
Oh.
develop ish feelings for him, but he is focused on that one girl. Yeah.
Hmm. You know what? Yeah, I should probably like start a bit more because when it comes to like watching anime in every season,
Hmm.
I wait for Giguk's video to come out, and then that's how I start judging it. But the only familiar title that for me was Mushoku Tensei, so that's all I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
And it's an issue because I'm like, I've been bored during my weeks because I have no other anime to
Oh
watch.
yeah.
And I don't like that. It's like, it makes me feel old if I don't watch anime, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to find
Yeah. No,
like,
I'm honestly the same because like I don't know why. Like sometimes it'll be like waves of where YouTube will be really, really good and have some really good content that I'm really interested in. And then
hmm,
sometimes it'll just not have anything that I'm interested in whatsoever. And that's the times where I turn to anime. Like during like my breaks at work, I would just start watching anime instead of like watching YouTube really. And so whenever
hmm.
like a new season comes out, I always try and find like some sort of like hidden gem almost.
And we have to, yeah.
Yeah. So that I mean, it kind of makes it exciting because you're always wondering like what's new this season and what's gonna be interesting. I think I'm also catching up on the Dangers in My Heart, the one about
That
the.
one, I've only like checked out the figurines for it, but I haven't watched it
It
at
is
all.
a good like the anime is really good. The characters are really cute. Well, the main
Mhm.
character is really cute. Granted, middle school, but
You
third
mean
year middle
him?
school, third year middle school. All right, third year middle school. So they're basically high school.
Did he wait? You wait. Which main character? The
The
girl
girl.
or the
Well, the
guy?
both of them are the same grade. Ba-
You made it sound like it's the guy for people who actually watch it.
mm,
Now that's kind of sus of you.
uh huh.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't understand what you're saying.
No,
No.
it's all right. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. That was one of our cringe moments.
Yeah. Sometimes I will not understand what someone's saying, like at all. Like it'll just over there.
In and out.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's in and
goodness.
out. In one ear, out the other.
Okay, so anyways, what you were saying.
Yeah. The story. I like stories that are almost like slice of life. Like one of my favorite animes before was Toradora. It had like that slice of life mixed with the rom com during high school. Granted, high school is like a very overused trope in anime, but I feel like it also makes sense for a lot of people because like some of their like first loves or only loves only come to them when they were in high school, and high school is kind of like the part of their lives where they remember the most happening because that's in Japanese society. I feel like in high school, that's where the most variety of like events happen. Like it's not ordinary life. Like if you become a salaryman in Japan, all your life is you wake up, you go to work, you stay late, you go drinking, you go to bed,
Right.
and then rinse repeat.
And then there's
Right.
also that overtime culture. Like they
Yeah,
just really stay at
that's the
work,
staying
right?
late part, right?
Yeah.
Not leaving before your boss leaves because you want the promotion, which is,
Hmm.
stupid. And
But now it's like, like as much as those like overtime stuff are very popular, it shouldn't be the only option for people.
right?
Because at this point, you know, something as small as Chat GPT can literally help you earn money,
Yeah.
right? And so people, I must say, people shouldn't be limited with their 9 to 5 jobs for a promotion. There are other ways of making money, and money shouldn't be something very important to you because there's also family,
Mhm.
there's also your hobbies, there's your love life that you
Yeah.
can enjoy,
Yeah,
right?
that's the reason why like the birth rate in Japan is like lower than before, right? It's because of that overwork culture. And like the only
Mhm.
according to the government, the only way for people to have babies is to make them alcoholics.
Well, yeah,
Right?
they sort of want stuff to happen,
Look at
you
during
know.
like the pandemic, right? Like Japan basically said to try and have like more was it to bring more boost to the economy, people should just go out and drink rather than opening it up to
Mhm.
tourists, right?
It's a bit unfortunate, but
It's a bit
if
old timey.
that's what they find solution. No, no, that's what they find. And yes, you are right. It is old timey because no one wants to be like no one wants to lead. They leave it to the elders, and the
Yeah,
culture, their culture has made it so that what the elderly are saying are sort of wisdom, and they just follow that.
yeah.
That's why you don't see young politicians in
That's
Japan,
why they still use the
right?
fax machine.
They still use
They still
paper.
use fax machine. They still use paper.
It's hard actually adjusting there, and sometimes like we've watched that many of the things that they need in a few days takes weeks to process,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like
right?
trying to deposit something at the bank will have like 50 papers to sign, and then you got to bring your little Hanko stamp. Granted, we do not know what it's like to live in Japan, though it would be really cool to live one day there. I'm just saying,
Hmm.
just to feel something, just to experience. Having more experiences in your life makes your life worth living.
And it does. It would say like I would say that exploring what the world has to offer, it's not just a good thing, it's I think necessary for at least once in our lifetime,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Because we're always surrounded by the same people sometimes.
right.
Yeah, we do meet other people, but eventually we sort of need to grow out
Mm-hmm.
in order to
Move
grow
on to grow ourselves,
and grow on. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to do like an Asia trip, like go to Japan. I want to go to Korea. I want to see what Singapore's about, right? Like I haven't explored much of Southeast Asia or Europe at all. Like I've only been to like America and around America really. And the only other time I've been on the other side of the world was when I went to the Philippines.
I just want to go to Nunavut. I don't know why. Just like the
We'll
northern
make it a
part of
road
Canada.
trip. We'll make it a road trip. We'll make it a special.
No, like it's like $2,000 to go to Nunavut.
We'll make it a
You
road trip.
need. It's not just. You have to go to Montreal first. Take the plane to like Northwest Territories, and then another plane to even start going to a community.
Oh shit.
And communities there are very small,
Yeah.
and the majority of it are indigenous peoples.
I would
So
expect so.
you will adjust to not just the culture but the way of living there as well.
Yeah. That would be
And
really cool though.
if you stay there for a year, there's a book that I read in university. She after living there for 13 years, the way she explained I don't remember. It was yeah. The way she explained uh, her her experiences was in. It wasn't just an I. It was in third person, as if she's narrating what happened to her. Her the language, I guess, has influenced the way she talks and how she views the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that interesting because that's exactly what's going to happen if we start living someplace else that we're not familiar with, especially.
I mean, like,
So,
I mean, like, I kind of find myself realizing that anyways because a lot of we watch a lot of anime. I take a lot of stuff in from anime, and I also like watch some YouTubers, right? Like the famous like the sound, right? It's a character.
yeah, see,
It's
I'm
a
doing it now.
sound. It's that it can mean so many different things. Like, do you want to go out? Yeah, I want to go out. He's like, yo, you good? No, I'm not too good, right? It's like different context, right? That's something I learned and kind of took from like Japanese anime, right? Or like
Mm-hmm.
different like I don't know, habits. Like, I don't know if I'm like sorry saying sorry to someone, I'll like do a little bit. I was like, yeah, sorry. Like, it's just like almost subconscious in a way. Like, a
We
good thing
just watch so
I
much that like it just rubs it on us.
yeah, a good thing I noticed was, how like Japanese will say itadakimasu, and
Mm-hmm.
then after they will say itadakimasu is like, I humbly receive this meal. You're basically thanking everyone who like worked to get that food on your table. And then after the meal they say gochiso sama deshita, which is like, thank you for the meal, or it's a general translation of that. I find myself now like thanking whoever made the meal. Like, if my mom or dad made me something to eat, I will say to them after I eat, thank you for the food.
I would go. I would say just sometimes
Yeah,
thank you for today, like
because
something like that, or thanks for your time. A lot of it for me is thanks for your time.
yeah, because that's a good thing you can take out of that, right? Like,
Hmm.
before I wouldn't
I've
say
You
anything.
become more polite actually.
Yeah, yeah. So like whenever like or mom or dad would make something, I'd be like, yeah, thank you for the food, and then I wouldn't do my dishes.
Right? What a guy. Are you? Yeah. Oh
I
well,
probably should.
it'd be like
Oh,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
You should do your chores. Speaking of chores, have you cleaned your room
Yes, I
like I
did clean my
instructed you
room.
to?
I
You
did
did
clean it. It is
actually.
it is
Okay, cool.
marginally cleaner than you when you were here. Don't worry. I
Gladly.
did a vacuum. I did a little cleanup here and there. Actually, for my brother, he for his birthday, we got him my younger brother. My youngest brother had his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to him. So we
Hmm.
gave he my younger brother, not the youngest,
Yeah.
my younger brother gave the youngest brother a new microphone.
Yeah.
So, oh jeez, whenever or whoever comes to record, we have a spare microphone for them to use.
Hey, let's go. How does that microphone sound? Where's that from?
It came from like my younger brother who bought it off Amazon for himself, but now
Hmm.
I bought a microphone for myself, and then I didn't like it, so I gave that microphone to him, and then he
Hmm.
gave this microphone to the youngest brother, which he'd been using for a while, and then now he bought the younger brother a microphone, so now we have this spare one, which I feel like is a win.
It is a win. Now, how are we going to mount that?
This is your
Is
mount.
it? Oh man, I have to go like this now. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
You
just
know
put
what?
it
It
like
is
that.
better than the
Yeah,
headphones being like this.
I mean, I could probably order like a mic stand off of like Amazon, so it's really
Nah.
nothing too crazy.
Actually, if we is the mount with like the screw thing, like the usual 3.5 thing?
Uh,
Is there something that you can screw it on?
no.
No? Okay, so it's definitely a mount, like a
Yeah,
dedicated mount.
yeah, it is. I mean, you
Okay.
can take off the shock mount for it, and then eh,
I don't know what the shock mount is just. Oh yeah, that does look a bit better, I'd say,
yeah,
holding it that way.
yeah,
But if I hold it, it's going the noise is gonna like completely vary. So probably what I'll do is just have it like have my hand on the table and then that's it. But
Or
I
rotator.
do have I do have clamps downstairs that can just help me hold it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that works.
That works. That works.
Hmm.
It was a good gift. Yeah, his new microphone's RGB. Granted, it felt a lot lighter than this,
Hmm.
which I find a little concerning because you could like it was unbelievably light. Like, what's the lightest
I
thing
don't
you
know why,
have
but
in your room right now?
lightest thing is probably papers are lying around in my house.
But like, okay,
Or if you want to be very specific, the hand for my Nandroid is zero point 0.2 grams.
okay. Well, look at something and then be like, it's kind of like the thing where you're looking at something and you're
So
expecting
it
it.
feels cheap.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. You expect it to be a lot heavier than it is.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? My fountain pen.
That does look pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's actually made of I don't know how will people say it? Aluminum or I say aluminium.
Aluminium.
So it's made of aluminium and it's extremely light for me.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, you know, but that one I'd say is expensive but feels cheap. But we always associate weight with quality, you know.
Yeah.
So like my phone, for example, is so heavy.
Yeah.
I I get like wrist strain from
Yeah.
it. Or like when I use my Rotring 800 pencil, heaviest thing in like the universe
Yeah.
for a pencil,
I mean, it's
and
like
that one,
also the
you know,
same thing with like, like as you said, like electronics. Like if you feel it's super light, and for like I guess like the features, like it's kind of like a weight to features ratio. Because like if it
mm,
comes with a certain amount of features but is also super light, you're obviously gonna expect it to have like cut some corners or like not live up to what it actually says, right?
right. Oh, you know what? What is supposed to be heavier than I expected? Earbuds. This
Mm.
one, my Link Buds S, usually costs MSRP for $300,
Yep.
but it's so light.
Yeah.
I like. I'm surprised by it, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's scary because like I might lose it. So knock on wood, I don't lose it.
Yeah. 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 So like I
What do
don't
you got?
uh how can we what were we talking about before?
I don't know. We just pretty much just we went off.
We went
I'd
off. We
say
did not. It's good, but hmm. I'm kind of
completely forgot where we at.
yeah. Okay. I have a thought provoking thing. Do you
Hmm.
think in French?
I don't. I think in multiple languages that I know a lot of,
Mm.
because if I think in French, I'm gonna think of the French like through a French culture.
Mm.
If I think in Tagalog, I'm gonna have like that Filipino thought of of a specific topic,
Right.
right? But usually when it's like English, I feel very whitewashed when I think. So it really depends.
Mm.
Honestly,
Did you
it
know that
depends.
some people don't have an inner monologue?
Some people don't, some because sometimes they don't need to.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd believe that.
But it's also like, in your head, you're thinking about it, you have your inner monologue, but it doesn't sound like you,
Hmm.
right? Like it doesn't sound like
That's
what your voice is in your, well, like what projects out of your mouth. It just is your monologue that you can like hear inside your head that doesn't have any sort of sound associated to it, but it's somehow familiar to you.
okay. So that means those are either intrusive thoughts or a possession. If you have no grasp of it, so it can be explained with those two things if
Uh-huh.
people are actually trying their best to interpret what they don't know,
Yeah.
right?
Cuz like for me, like
Classified as
sometimes
intrusive thoughts.
sometimes when I'm thinking, right? Like I'll just catch myself and be like, Like literally, like right now, as I'm like thinking about it, like my inner monologue
Hmm.
doesn't have a sound, but I can tell what I'm thinking. That has
Hmm.
it like my inner monologue has a voice almost that I can
Hmm.
understand, I can think, I can form together sentences, I can talk to myself in my inner monologue, but it doesn't have a sound associated to it.
Hmm.
Cuz you know how like sometimes through text you can I don't know, you can hear that person's voice in the text, right? With certain people
Right.
you can hear the voice in the text even though they aren't really speaking.
Hmm. I'd say like I don't know. When it comes to thinking, I don't really think as much, which is unfortunate because like my dad would tell me something and then I would completely forget what he said like an
That's
hour
me.
after. I don't
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah, that's me too.
but I feel like that. Oh yeah, we were talking about figurines. Remember when we were like
We moved on
we were
from
talking about
figurines
yeah.
to manga and anime to something else and then to thoughts.
I wanted to talk about
You were gonna share
the
your screen.
Necopara lore.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
get into the Mecha Parlor and what chocolate friggin' figurine you were gonna get. You were even like typing away to get the friggin' site up.
It's actually right in front of me right now, and then I completely forgot that we were supposed to talk about that.
Well, why not now?
No, I'd say I have to look for it. So if I share my screen, if it says a quick search chocolate, there's quite a few here.
Oh
Like for
yeah.
example, which is the one that I wanted? It was this one. It was the beach one,
Ooh. Ooh.
the 1/7 swimsuit version.
Damn.
I love that so much, and it's like the nicest thing. I saw it at the like coin and stamp at
Uh
the
huh.
mall, and if I did, like I can actually trade it in for my 6 of my figurines for a discount.
Really?
But my issue is I don't technically need a new figurine,
No,
right?
you have six perfectly good ones.
Because right, I have 6 perfectly good ones, and they're all as a family right there,
They're all as a family. They're also like together more than how many? There's six. Six times two. They're
and
over
it's
thirteen
and
hundred
it's more
dollars.
consistent, right? But the thing about scale figurines compared to the non-scale figurines
Mm-hmm.
behind me is that the scale figurines, if it says 1/7, 1/6, even one half, they get expensive after a few years.
Mm.
Those are those are better at investment than non-scale, I'd
Right.
say. When something has a scale, it immediately becomes hobby grade, and ideally, you just don't want to like I'd say get into it as much
Mm-hmm.
because they do start to get expensive. Like for example, my RC car hobby, I'm still at the 1/8 scale
Right.
of like the cars, and that's already like what $500 for one car. That like like my car for example can go up to
Uh
a
huh.
100 kilometers, right? And that would be just it's really hard to control for a normal person to have. So
Yeah.
the price comes with experience, and right now, and it's still rainy. Sucks right now. I have to wait for a good day,
Yeah.
honestly. How's my window? I think this is actually the first time you've seen my window.
Yeah. I mean,
It
the
is
screen's
actually
blurry
as
enough that you didn't dox yourself, but I think you're good.
right. You can always just blur it on your own when I do that.
uh, More work.
A few seconds.
You have a 720p camera. You're fine.
Oh, was it? Okay, so okay, I guess
It
it's
also
not
like whited
actually
out like
showing.
hell a lot. Like the white exposure just like
Oh,
blurred the
really?
camera.
Good enough.
It's
Good
fine.
enough.
It should be fine.
That one
Unless like
deserves
someone's like
a clap.
unless friggin' Geo Wizard like just comes out and like, oh yeah, that's here in this place.
No, the Geo Wizard guys are gonna do it for real. Man.
Oh man. Those guys are cracked though. Like
There's that one guy.
yeah, who can look at it
He's
for
really
even
good
a
at it.
second He's kind of like, remember Markiplier when he's like doing that like friggin' 720 mode and like whatever FNAF game, and he's looking at the cameras for like a split second, but like 12 out of like the
Right, right.
12 out of
You're
like
just
the,
going.
the frames he sees are just like static, and there's that one single clear frame which he like gets as much information as he can from it. Like, it's crazy how they can do that.
But it comes from practice. Like, let's say
Yeah,
if I try to practice to do that, dude, I'd be like totally cracked as well.
it's a
But I
it's a
don't
party
want to
trick.
dedicate myself too much on it. So
It's a pretty good party trick. Yo, you wanna see me play GeoGuessr?
sounds insane.
Have you ever tried to play
Uh,
GeoGuessr?
I've tried it once with some of our friends, but
Uh,
I was like, I didn't really like it as much because I don't really play games as much anymore, too.
right.
So
Yeah.
there's that.
I played it. I've like obviously we live in Edmonton. I've played the one where like some people made an Edmonton like one. So you kind of have to find like
Hmm.
the exact street of it in Edmonton. And
Ooh,
that's kind of fun cuz I can
man,
see
that's like if you've lived in Edmonton for like 18, 40
yeah, I
years
know, right?
going on. Yeah, that can't be me.
It's kind of fun though because you're like, "Oh, I know where this place is. I know it's exactly on, it's like on White Ave or something." That's what like most of the
Hmm.
places are. It's just White Ave.
Dude, everyone, I don't know. Edmonton right now is, as usual, pretty boring.
Well,
But
I mean, uh 2 nights ago it wasn't so boring.
it really wasn't
It
the
really
what
wasn't.
happened at Wem.
Yeah, if you, for
Yeah,
people who don't know and who maybe not live in Edmonton, there was a shooting at the West Edmonton Mall.
the biggest mall
Still,
in North America.
well, it's actually the second biggest mall in North America.
Is it now?
Yeah,
Second now?
yeah, it's the second now. Like whenever Mall of America in was it St. Paul in Minnesota opened, it's like six hundred
Oh,
thousand square feet less.
oh,
Yeah,
that's still a lot.
it's a lot, but it's still like to for us to have like had that record for as long as we had, and we're still
Hmm.
technically like once if you say what's the biggest mall in North America, people might or will probably say if they don't know any better the West Edmonton Mall because they might have maybe heard more about it,
Hmm.
right? Because that's always what it's been advertised as. And to us
That is true.
it still feels small because we're just used to it. But whenever like
That's
tourists
the thing. We
come,
get, yeah.
whenever
It's like,
tourists
oh my
come, they're
goodness,
like,
it's
"Oh my
so
god, they can
huge.
fit a ship in here. There's a skating rink. There's a whole amusement park." Speaking of
There's the
amusement
water
park,
park.
yeah, and there's a water park too. Speaking of amusement park, I wonder what they're gonna replace the Mindbender with. I just hope it's a roller coaster. That's all I hope for.
It should be another roller coaster because we're when the Mindbender was replaced, we're talking about 40 years in
40
operation.
plus
The metal,
years.
40 plus years. It's definitely going to like start rust, and
Well, there's a thing.
they only took it out because of structural integrity.
No, actually, no. I'm actually like a little tidbit fact about me. I am kind of a coaster nerd, and I actually watch like roller coaster channels. Like Coaster Studios, Theme Park Crazy. What actually,
Hmm.
what is probably the most likely reason is that there's not enough
What's
parts.
the canon
What's the canon event of it? Is that
the canon
the
event?
canon event of the Mindbender was that the manufacturer of the Mindbender went bankrupt like 30
Oh,
years ago. Okay, so the story
no
of
part support.
yeah, yeah, it's all proprietary. So what happened with
Oh,
the
really?
Mindbender? So Schwarzkopf
Hmm.
was a famous roller coaster designer who is more what's it called? Who's more known for like the traveling fair scenes, right? Like he would sell his creations to traveling fairs, and they
Hmm.
would put them up. They're meant to be taken down like like 2 or 3 times a month, right? So
Hmm.
he made them like super simple to take apart, super simple to get together, and then like when in 2 days, right? So when they were building the Mindbender, uh, during the 1980s was when Schwarzkopf was at its biggest, right? And there's like other big
Oh.
Schwarzkopf roller coasters, and there's some like smaller family ones. But the big ones that were like well known are was it dry looping? Uh, I think that, and then there's Olympia looping, which is the ones with the the Olympic logo with the five loops.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then there was the Mindbender, which is which was the largest indoor triple loop roller coaster in the world as of like when
Mm-hmm.
it's closed. So
Mm-hmm.
another fun fact about the mall was that they had to build the Mindbender first, and then everything around the Mindbender came second,
Oh.
right? So literally the first, like we call the mall in phases. So there's phase one, phase two, and phase three. Phase one was just, where like Hudson's Bay is, and the
So
Toyota
the boring
dealership
part
now.
of the boring part of West Edmonton, yeah.
Yeah, like the food court, and then that section was literally all what the mall was back then. It was just like two floors, and that was literally what the mall was. And then the expansion
Mm.
came when they started building a Fantasyland and Phase Two, because Fantasyland was part of Phase Two, and then so on and so forth. But the thing about the
Mm-hmm.
Mindbender and Schwarzkopf was that Schwarzkopf was a reputable builder, right? His
Some
creations
a
are
reputable
now,
master builder, yeah.
yeah, his creations now are one of the rarest rides in the world, because simply because there aren't many of them left. So they call them like credits, right? So I
Mm.
have the Mindbender credit, which I can take with me and brag to others about, because Mindbender was a ride and a half, I swear. Like,
Mm-hmm.
did you ever go on it?
No, I was too scared to do
You
it.
were too scared. I think I rode it two or three times in my life. The first time I rode it, I got really sick after. Like, I felt like hella
Mm-hmm.
nauseous. The second and third time, I was fine. I was fine. Because, like, it was also, I think, the most intense indoor roller coaster ever, because of the loops. They cause like 5.5 Gs or something on like that. Because the
Oh.
design of the loops were more circular than like the modern loop de loop, because the modern loop de loops are actually more teardrop shaped rather than circular, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not as hard, because if it's more circular, the G's will be more sustained throughout the whole entire thing. Whereas when you have it a teardrop shape, most of the G's are coming up here, and then they're like leveling off here, like once you go back down.
Physics wise, it's also easier for it to speed up the moment it falls again.
Yeah,
So it has more momentum going to that third loop,
yeah.
right?
But it didn't really need that sort of design, because of how fast the ride is. Like the Mindbender pacing of it. Like if you ever watch a POV of it, it just keeps going and going. Like it doesn't lose speed until the brake run. The brake run is the place
Oh, really?
where the train slow down at
Yeah.
the end of the ride, right? And yeah, back to the main point of why the Mindbender was discontinued, or like was torn
Mm.
down, was because they had no more parts for it, right?
Oh,
So
so is it possible before that? Is it possible to like reverse engineer uh, roller coaster parts?
I would say so, because in the States, like considering it for what we had over like what more than 30 years of the Mindbender standing still staying up, that's probably longer than most outdoor roller coasters, simply because it's indoor, right? They don't have the factors
Mm.
of like the rain, like the external factors of weather coming into effect, and messing with the metal and all that, right?
Mm.
So they ran out of parts for the Mindbender, and I don't know whether they kept like recordings of what like the original pieces were, and like how to make them, because that's all like Schwarzkopf's like uh they're all his patent, right? And
Mm.
like his son tried to keep on the Schwarzkopf name, but that didn't really turn out well. So we
Mm.
probably be getting like different parts from another manufacturer that had experience with working on Schwarzkopf roller coasters was Premier Rides. They actually took a couple of Schwarzkopf coasters and retrofitted their own trains to be able to run on those old Schwarzkopf rides.
Hmm.
So if they were to like do anything with it, then they would probably like have like Premier Rides. That's the only like ride manufacturer I know to have like worked with Schwarzkopf track before. So they would like
Hmm.
they could have just retrofitted like their own trains on it if the trains were like what the problem was. Which honestly, I think it that could have been it because again, like the structural integrity of the metal, just from staying inside without having any factors of like weather, the metal is going to be much more stronger than what an outdoor coaster had,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But considering that the coaster had been like standing but not operating during the height of like the pandemic. I literally heard it once testing throughout the pandemic when I was at work and I got so excited and then it never ran again because that thing is was so loud. You could hear it from the food court whenever you were like eating in the food court, you could tell when the mind bender
Yeah.
was going because you can hear it from that far away.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, my thing is just I just hope they put a new roller coaster in there, like at least like a family ride that has some like kind of thrill, right? They don't have to like use up all the space because there's a lot of like ride manufacturers that will be able to use that space to its fullest extent. Like I could say like Vekoma is a reputable brand which doesn't have very many uh, coasters of their modern generation in North America because the thing about Vekoma, they're a Dutch manufacturer. There are some their rides were some of the most notorious rides for being really rough and kind of a
Hmm.
knockoff copy of an American ride manufacturer that went defunct called Aerodynamics. So Vekoma was basically a Dutch version of Aerodynamics. So it was very much the same like track style, the same train style almost. But the newer
Hmm.
Vekomas, they're like they're more modern. They like reinvented themselves and they're like make much better rides now than what they did in like the early 90s during like the coaster wars. All of these are stuff you probably don't understand, but I'm just rambling because I
It
don't
is. It is an easier, like lore to understand,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Cuz like
So
I've never really like gone on about how much I know about roller coasters before.
no, it's like literally my first time hearing you like talk about roller coasters. It's like asking a train person, "What's your favorite train?" And then they, "Oh, I like that X train." I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But then again, everyone has their expertise, and it's like I appreciate the like to like find out that someone has this, and I just didn't know about it,
Yeah.
and that's good enough,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, like Vekoma makes like really good compact like family thrill coasters. That would be a good idea. Another good manufacturer would be like Premier Rides or Gerstlauer. Gerstlauer, you know the Galaxy Orbiter, like the orbiter
Oh
one,
yeah,
the
yeah.
one that spins. Gerstlauer is the one that makes that model. It's their spinning coaster. They're
Mm.
also known for another model, which is they're called the Eurofighter, which is like a one car train.
Mm.
It's actually the model which has the steepest drop in the world, which is in the
Oh.
Mall of America, like Nickelodeon Universe. It's
Mm.
121 degrees 121.5 degrees of angle. So the way like beyond vertical drop works is that it comes up and then it slants down, right? And then the drop is
Yeah.
basically where it goes under itself. So this
Oh.
part is 121 degrees. So if it was like here, that's like 121 degrees. So that's where the train would be descending,
Hmm.
right?
That's
So
cool.
a Gerstlauer could be another manufacturer as well. But I think it would be either be like Vekoma or Gerstlauer. That would be one of the two ones that would be able to make use of the area that the Mindbender was in, and maybe even Premier Rides because they make some indoor coasters as well. But yeah, there's my little tidbit
Okay.
about roller coasters, Galaxyland. There's actually a really good channel called Best Edmonton Mall, which has really good.
Oh yeah.
You
He
know that
only
channel?
talks about he only talks about that
Yeah,
the yeah Mindbender, and
it's
that's it.
so interesting. Like especially because I practically like grew up in the mall all my life because parents worked at the mall. Like I kind of seen it change, and then like what like looking at all the photos and that, it just gives me nostalgic. It's so nostalgic for me. Back when it was better.
All right. So That's Jasper's segment of roller coaster lore.
Yeah.
I love this. I love the clapping thing.
Oh,
But
it's so funny.
with that said, what time are we in already?
We're about an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, I think that probably
Right.
wraps it up. I think that's a pretty good spot for us to end today. Uh, this week we will
Well, thanks.
we will definitely try
Thanks
and
very much for watching. Yeah.
get in person again sooner rather than later. But expect at least one more episode of this format, which honestly I think
Right.
it works. It's fine, but
It's
obviously,
convenient, but it's not. It doesn't hit the same as
yeah,
being in person.
yeah, because
There's a
I can't
sense of.
really like hit
There's a sense
guard.
of like. Right. There's a sense of also like it feels like it's like in COVID during COVID, especially
Yeah,
with school. This is what I would look like,
yeah,
right?
basically.
Like,
I won't
and
even turn on my
yeah,
camera.
man, I don't even want to. I don't. I had my camera on, like just to look, and then I'm just like this with my mic off, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Anyways,
thanks very much
thank you
for watching
for
tonight, today.
watching, listening.
So,
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Okay, first thing before we end it,
mm,
your first intro, good morning, good evening, and good
good
night.
evening and good night.
You did not include good afternoon. Did you know?
It's
You
all
think
right.
about it? Because I was like,
It's all
good
right.
morning, good evening, good night. I'm like, good evening and good night is the exact same thing. You missed the afternoon.
So I should go with good morning, good afternoon, and good night,
Yes.
and good evening.
And good evening. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
There's a chance that I'll just probably do that. Yeah.
Anyways, that ends it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you all next week.
Next
Bye.
week.